welcome back. We're here today. We're going to take a look at a tip for when you change out the fuel filter, how to keep it from leaking and to make sure it's nice and secure and not have any issues with it. Now, if you like our content, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can hit the like button while you're there also. As we take our fuel filter off for your spring tune-up, when you're going to replace it, I usually like to just pinch close to the edge and twist at the same time on each end. That'll free your fuel line up, so that's great. It's ready to come off. Now we're going to throw the new one on. I usually like to let it just drain for a second in case there's anything in there. And then if you go to put this back on and use a fuel clamp like that, many times what will happen, for instance here, before we put the fuel clamp on, what will happen is it'll actually leak. The way to prevent that is going to be just to take a little pinch off. So we're just going to take a tiny piece, about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch off of the fuel line on each side. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a nice new place for this fuel line to sit. Well, that worked great. That fuel line's a little bit brittle there apparently. I'm going to replace it at this point. But just cutting it back that little bit is going to make sure that it does not leak. Got one about the same size. I like to go just a little bit bigger because, again, we take off a little bit each year. Most of the time we see the same mowers year in, year out. I'll show you on this other side. Now if we look here, if we barely touch it, it'll start leaking gas. And that's because it's trying to seat at exactly the same spot as this other one seated, and that rubber is formed to that spot. Again, try this one more time, right? Take it off, and we're going to go ahead and just snip. Good to go. And that fuel line looks okay. If it's real cracked or if anything's separating or anything like that in there, you will want to replace the fuel line there going to the tank also. Looks like maybe that had been replaced at some point or another. Now we know this fuel line is not going to leak at the fuel filter. Otherwise, you run the risk where once you do that, the fuel filter starts leaking. I mean, could cause a fire or anything else. Just a good tip for a process of doing a fuel filter change out when you're doing your spring tune-up. Hopefully this helps. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.